Dak Prescott, like I said, training camps are here. Guys are talking now. There's a Jerry Jones sighting. There's a Dak Prescott sighting. And we got Dak sound. Of course, he didn't come to an agreement with the team over a long-term contract, so he's playing on the franchise tag. Here's what Dak had to say about it.
I'm excited as hell to be a Dallas Cowboy. I've been a fan of this organization and been a fan of this program for years. I love every bit of the opportunity and the platform that I get to be the quarterback here. No frustration as far as that. Once again, I believe something will get done. And with my hopes, I believe I'll be a Dallas Cowboy for the rest of my career. So,
Yes! Yes! There is no issue, Rob Parker. Dak Prescott, I'm constantly telling you about the intangibles. That I like intangibles in my quarterback. Joe Montana, Tom Brady. I like intangibles. Dak's got the intangibles. Could have thrown in Russell Wilson as well. He's low maintenance. Now, it's just a difference in personality. Some guys are high maintenance. I'm a low maintenance guy. If I had a situation like that, it wouldn't bother me. It wouldn't make me think, oh, they don't want me. I can't play here anymore. I'm salty. I'm not going to produce. I'll show them by being, standoffish and aloof at the practice facility. No, I go in and do my job because I'm low maintenance. And Dak Prescott is low maintenance too. And so now, I'm not saying he's elite. You always say that. I'm saying he's en route. He's on track. He's going toward being elite. I'm not saying he's going to be Pat Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, but whatever he is, the Dallas Cowboys will get the best of Dak Prescott. He will not let the contract situation stop him from putting his best foot forward. And that's what I like about the brother. So all that, they don't want him. He's out of there. This is a sign. He's not gonna play well. No, Dak Prescott will go out there and play 110%, play well, and the contract will not be an issue. He'll get paid down the road.
I love Dak putting on a happy face, but he can't be happy if he's realistic. Chris Broussard, I'm going to give you, since you're doing your happy schmappy, all of your intangible stuff, things you can't see. You talk about facts all the time instead of feelings. Here are the facts. Here's history. And if history repeats itself, Dak won't get a long-term contract from the Cowboys. You know why? He's only the third quarterback in the history of the NFL to play under a franchise tag, all right, after they couldn't come to an agreement. And guess what? Those other two quarterbacks did not get a long-term deal from their teams. I'm talking about Drew Brees and Kirk Cousins. Neither of them got a deal. That's the history of it. Everybody on the Cowboys who was in line to get paid got paid. Instead, even Ezekiel Elliott, who held out, who wouldn't even come to camp and put the Cowboys in limbo, got paid. All the quarterbacks drafted in the same year as Dak Prescott, they all got paid. Carson Wentz, Jared Goff, they all got their money. And the only guy who didn't get paid was Dak Prescott. So you can sit here and put a happy face on it, act like it doesn't matter. History tells you this is a bad sign. If this is your quarterback and you believe in him, there's no reason to upset the apple cart, even if he puts on a happy face. All the guys in that locker room know that Jerry, who has a history of bending and giving in, that's what everybody said. Oh, Jerry will bend at the end and he'll sign Dak. Chris thought the whole way he'll get a deal because it doesn't make any sense. It's only going to cost you more down the road. And instead, Jerry didn't bend. Jerry didn't cave like he always does. Jerry held strong. It didn't happen. And this guy's the only guy who didn't get a deal. And I'm telling you, history, remember what I'm telling you. Don't listen to Chris and all that intangible nonsense. I'm telling you, the history of quarterbacks who play on the franchise tag, Drew Brees, Kirk Cousins, both went elsewhere to get paid. Just remember.
Nice selective memory. Nice to state the things that fit your argument without stating the whole story. First of all, let's start here. You gave 2 examples. That's not enough for a sample, Rob. That wouldn't fly anywhere.
There are only
2
3
examples.
Quarterbacks on the franchise tag.
2 examples?
That's it.
That's not
There's
enough.
only 3.
I need a larger sample size, number 1. Number 2, neither of those was the Cowboys. So I don't care what another squad did. I don't care what the Washington football team did, what San Diego did. That's irrelevant to what the Cowboys might do. Number 3, Drew Brees was injured. Did you forget that? Oh, you conveniently left that part out. Conveniently, because it didn't fit your little narrative. And Kirk Cousins, they never believed in him. The GM didn't even know his name. He thought it was Kurt with a T. He didn't even know the guy. They know Dak Prescott.
That was just an accent from Milwaukee. That's all that was. He knew his name.
No, he didn't know his name. He called him Kurt. You know that. I mean, look, Rob, here, you know this. They offered him. Why in the world would you offer him 5 years if you didn't believe in him? They believed Dak.
Because they knew
Dak
he wasn't going to take it.
Oh, stop it. You don't offer somebody 5 years over $100 million if you don't want him. You just don't. So let's see what the listeners think. 877-99 on Fox, 877-996-6369. Should we believe that Dak and the Cowboys, when they say there's no animosity, it's all love? If I'm Jerry Jones, I don't mind watching Dak on the franchise tag. It's not like he can walk if he wants. You know what I mean? I don't mind watching him. He's not, as much as I like him, he's not Pat Mahomes. He's not, Lamar, even you want to see a little bit more of a sample size. But, he's not one of those transcendent quarterbacks. So I think it can work out either side. You get to see him again. And if he plays well this year under McCarthy, then we'll see where they go.
And if he doesn't play well, what do you think will happen? If he doesn't, say they don't make the playoffs, he doesn't play well. What do you? If
he doesn't play well, then, and I don't expect him to play poor. I don't even think you expect him to play poorly.
I didn't say poorly. Not playing well is not poorly.
Right.
I'm not saying he's going to tank it and be awful, but I'm just saying, say they don't make the playoffs, they're 8-8 again. They don't make the playoffs. He's not that great against the better teams. That's the reason why they don't make the playoffs. Would you second guess if you're the Cowboys? Would you go, maybe we can't make this commitment?
Well, that's a good question because, like I said, he's not one of those surefire guys, right? Like Mahomes or an Aaron Rodgers when he was younger. But he is, I think, can be a franchise quarterback. He's not going to be a top 3 one, but he can be a franchise quarterback. So I don't expect it. If he plays well but not great, like say last year, I bring him back because it's tough to get that guy right unless they have a clear path to get his replacement who looks like he's going to be great. Then I think you got to sign him.
All right, Joe in North Carolina, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Joe?
Hey, yeah, I love your show, guys, and
thank you.
I agree with you, Rob. I don't think I think there's not a lot of love. I think Jerry Jones has finally grown up and learned how to run a business and not just pay everybody that comes along. He's not Dak Prescott is not great. I agree with you. He's mediocre, and I don't. He might be on route, but you don't get paid when you're on route. You get paid after you have some great years.
He's not mediocre though. I'll say he's not elite, but come on, he's not mediocre.
He's a middle of the pack. When they do the Football Focus, he's normally like 15th, or would you say that's
the latest
the
ones? He's been higher though. I think what is he like 10? I think he's been in the top 10 in a few recently. I think so. Yeah, he's not mediocre. I'm not saying he's elite yet or he's not there, but I just don't understand I mean, unless you're right, Rob, where you say they knew they weren't going to offer, he wouldn't accept
take
5
it.
years,
Right,
but I can't
right.
see that. I just, they offered him 5 years, huge money.
Yeah, but
I don't believe you do that to a
me, it
guy you don't
doesn't-
want.
Right, but if you really wanted him, you could have bent. Jerry usually bends.
They could have
Chris.
been. They could have
Am
been.
I right? Like, seriously.
They could have been.
Just to end the story, everybody would have been signed. There's no conversation. You got your new coach. Do you know what, like you're
But
supposed
who was
to
it
take
that
the next
said
step?
to him? Who was it that said it to him? Was it Drew Brees or somebody said, look, the franchise tag isn't that bad to play on? It was
No,
Kirk
if you play
Cousins.
well,
Kirk Cousins.
If you play
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
It
I
could
mean-
work out. All right. Rick in California, you're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Rick?
Yes, sir. Yeah, Rob, I think I kind of agree with you, too. I think Zach, he completely blew his big contract at the end of last season when he choked down 2 easy games to get in the playoffs.
Right.
And they flashed to Jerry a couple times on TV, and he looked like he was going to blow up, So I think
Especially, you know
Jerry's
what?
a little
Hey,
leery
Rick.
about Zach.
Hey, Rick, especially that Philly game. Remember Dak? I don't
Yeah,
think
he
threw a touchdown in
choked
that
up a couple of games against garbage teams. If he was any kind of quarterback, he'd have blew him out there to get in
Any
the playoffs.
kind of quarterback. He threw for 30 touchdowns and over 4,000 yards. What
But
are you
none
talking
against
about?
good teams, though,
Twice
Rick. None
they've been in the
against good
playoffs in 4 years. Dallas
ball,
hadn't seen
garbage-
that kind of
garbage
success in a long time.
All right. Yeah, he against bad teams, man. He piles up those stats.
Stop it. Stop
Close
it.
to Matt Stafford. Shane in Texas. You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What do you got, Shane?
Hey, y'all. I'm a big fan. I'm glad to finally be talking to y'all. I've been online for a couple of different times. Chris, been a
Man,
fan of
I'm
yours
glad you
since,
got
Thank you.
through.
Yeah, hey, I'm Rob. I'm a fan of your writing, especially for Deadspin. And I appreciate, as a fellow penny saver, your outfits. How you get $400 values for like $20.
Man.
And Chris, I've been a fan of your reporting since your days over at the old network.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you,
I appreciate
man.
it.
Very nice words.
Yes.
Thank you.
And I think when it comes to the franchise tag quarterbacks, people forget that Philip Rivers was already drafted by the time that Drew Brees got tagged. He was on his way out anyway. And Kirk Cousins, he was tagged, I think, 2 or 3 times. And
Yeah.
Twice.
if I worked for someone for 5 years and they got my name wrong, I'd be on my way out too.
Got Ham in New Jersey. You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Ham?
What's up, guys? I just don't understand you, Chris. You have a franchise quarterback. It's very hard to get.
Yes.
You want to start off a season with a brand-new coach, with no drama, no dark cloud over the team. And like Rob says, what if he loses a couple games early and then all the pressure's on him? It's a contract year. Why do you want that for your team? Jerry always gets it wrong. I don't understand this guy.
Well, look, did you hear what the dark cloud? Where's the dark? This is what I heard Dak Prescott say today. I grew up wanting to be a Dallas Cowboy, and I am. I've
He's a
got
company
dreams
man,
of
but
being
pay
a
him.
Dallas.
Pay the
but
guy
I'm just
if
saying,
he's your guy,
it only
Ham. You're
becomes
100%.
it only becomes a dark cloud if Dak makes it a dark cloud.
Ham.
He's not making it a dark cloud.
Ham, if they're 0-3 to start the year, you watch and see.
Hold on.
And you watch and see people turn on Dak, and then all of a sudden the conversation will change. That's why you don't even want to be in this situation.
No, but what if they had paid him and they started 0-3? You'd still hear the talk.
No, but
then
it'd
there'd be talk
different
about
then.
they were
the
stupid to
quarterback and he
sign
ain't
him
going
and all
nowhere.
that.
No, but he ain't going nowhere from that standpoint. I'm just saying, I think that they mishandled this. I don't understand. 877-99 on Fox. Tony in Washington, you're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Tony?
Well, let's just keep it real. Would we actually be having this conversation if Dak Prescott was an African American? Would Jerry Jones just go ahead and pay him like he would pay Tony Romo or any other non-black quarterback?
I don't know if it's racial or not. I'm not going to say it's racial. I mean,
Well,
Dak Prescott ain't Pat Mahomes. You don't think he would have paid Pat Mahomes?
No,
Lamar
no,
Jackson?
No.
He's paid plenty of black players. Now,
Dak.
you're right. This is different. It's a quarterback.
But
he's not their first black
They
quarterback.
paid Ezekiel Elliott big money to bet the biggest contract for a running
Right.
back, and he held
Amari
out.
Cooper. Yeah, I mean,
Everybody
Romo,
got paid.
And you would say, look, again, y'all know I like Dak Prescott. Individually, Romo was better. Individually. Now, I think Dak's got some, again, y'all mock me, but he's got some intangibles that Romo didn't necessarily have, I think. But Romo was a legitimately really good quarterback. So I don't think it's racial. Really don't.
Yeah, it's hard for me to really say that because of he has paid other people. If you told me that he wouldn't pay, you can't be by position. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it's either you're paying black guys or you're not paying them and they're going elsewhere. Then I'd say, look at the history, right?
Yep.
Because you wouldn't be making a commitment to anybody.
And maybe if this was their first black quarterback, maybe. But they had, what was it, Quincy Carter? Was that his name?
Quincy Carter was a star when Bill Parcells
Yeah.
was the head coach, and he had some other issues, and that's why he wound up getting let go. But he was their guy.
Right. So, Jerry Jones, like I said, he spoke as well today, Rob, and he wants fans in the stands. Now, do we have audio of that, Rob G? Okay, here's what he said. He said, the Dallas Cowboys plan on playing all of our football games, and we plan on playing them in front of our fans. I think that's important. I think it's important individually. I think it's important for the country. The NFL can be an inspirational part of how we address COVID, not only this year, but how we go into 2021. We'll adhere to all protocols. We'll adapt them to the uniqueness of our stadium. I think we're going to be able to have a great experience. I'm confident we have a very educated situation with our fans.
Total nonsense. Total nonsense. Jerry is seeing the almighty dollar. That's what it's all about. It has nothing to do with that. Why would you bring in more people on top of each other? It just doesn't make any sense. And he also, this is the same guy who all of a sudden is now rethinking the kneeling. Why is he rethinking the kneeling, Chris?
Right.
Because he doesn't have any option.
Exactly.
Because he has no say. He won't be able to sit there on his high horse and act as if he runs an iron. So now all of a sudden he's rethinking it, right? It ain't what? Jerry's
rethinking it to see if they kneel. Then I thought about it and I was all right. Right. Exactly. Now, come on. The only thing I'll say, and I agree with you for the most part. Only thing I'll say is, look, is it possible in a 60,000 seat stadium, to bring in 10,000? I doubt he's thinking as low as 10. I don't know if he cannot be thinking a full stadium, Rob. That's lunacy. If you're thinking a full stadium, then stop it. But if you're thinking,
he would try as much as he can to make money.
They're talking about some pods thing. The only thing now, pods, what I didn't get, pods is what a group of people show up together and then they spread them out. I don't know that you do it that. To me, you just, you spread out. You say we can hold 15,000 or whatever.
But then you
spread everything out.
With the players, it's also the players. Do you want those many people around with the chance of it somehow getting, you know what I mean, making a pressure cooker or a place where it breeds or whatever? I think that's the other part that I'm not so sure about.
The NFL, they're going to tarp. They said they'll tarp off the first few rows. So there won't be anybody. I mean, they're not right up on the players anyway, but there won't be anybody close to the players. You just, whatever they can come to, you have to err on the side of caution. You have got to err on the side of caution. And I agree with you, Jerry, seeing dollar signs.
It's just
but
dollars.
You have to follow what the doctors are telling you, period. And if they're saying you can get 15,000 in there, okay. But don't try to jam a full stadium in there. That would be ridiculous as far as I'm concerned. And again, Rob, just defiance. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Jerry, where did he graduate med school from?
I forgot.
Was
it John Hopkins? Was it John Hopkins?
Cleveland Clinic, come on, man. Stop it. Let the doctors do their job.
Right.
Yeah.
They all know what's going on because it's affecting their money. That's what it comes down to.
And if baseball doesn't have any fans, then why are we to believe football can?
I agree. And there's way more money to be made normally with the more games. So for them to give it up for the safety of the players makes sense. This is just one of those, you're going to have to take the L on it, Chris. We all are. We all are.
Yep, I agree. And you could say the same thing about basketball, no fans. And so why should football and the Dallas Cowboys be any different?
Any different.
Yep.